Okay, so when we're looking at saturated versus unsaturated, if something's saturated, we have too much solute or too little water. Okay, so we have too much of what's kind of gone in or what that solid is. If we are unsaturated, it's too little solute or we have too much water. Again, write this down. It's blue. You should know by now. Okay, so a saturated solution. So again, write this down. The maximum solute dissolved in a specific volume of solvent, water, at a specific temperature. So the saturation points depend on the temperature. So the hotter something is, the more that something is usually able to dissolve. This isn't always the case. And so if you look down here, each of these different salts have, or ionic compounds, all have different saturation points. Okay, so write this down as your notes. Okay, so what's important for you to know is that the density of water is 1 gram of water is equal to 1 milliliter of water. Okay, and so if we have 100 grams of water, it can also be equal to 100 milliliters of water. So this is just one step further, but if we have 1 kilogram of water, it's also going to be equal to 1 liter of water. And so what I want you to do is on your sheet here, I want you to put grams of solute and 100 grams of water. And so each of these, I'm going to go into brackets. So any of these numbers ends up getting put up at the top. So that's not big. If we zoom in, you've got grams of solute, you've got your 100 grams of water. So we read this table by finding the temperature. So at 20 degrees Celsius, how much aluminum sulfate in grams could dissolve to saturate 50 milliliters of water. And so here the only number that we care about is this 20 degrees. And we go our aluminum sulfate, we've got aluminum sulfate measured up. 20 degrees is at 36.4. And so if we look, the first thing that we need to do is we're going to write down our volume. Oops, I'm still zoomed in. Okay, so if we have 50 milliliters of water, we said that it was 36.4. It's 20 degrees Celsius here. And so what we can do is we can use either one of these brackets. So there's two ways that we can do this. This is milliliters of water, you can drop it like it's hot. So we know that in 100 milliliters of water, we can fit in 36.4 grams of our aluminum sulfate, or Al2SO4 3. So we can multiply across the top, divide by the bottom. We're going to go 50 times 36.4 divided by 100 gives us 18.2 grams of our Al2SO4 3 to make this solution saturated. The other thing that we can do, or the other way that you could do this, is you could say you've got 50 milliliters of water is equal to, we've got a ratio of 100 milliliters of water. We know that 100 milliliters of water is going to give us our 36.4 grams of our aluminum sulfate. This is what we want to find. Cross multiply, divide. So you'd go your 50 times 36.4 divided by 100 would give you would still give you X being equal to 18.2 grams of aluminum. You have no idea the struggle this video has been to make.